All right, guys, so we are out here on a rather cloudy and gloomy day before the cold weather sets in. And we are here to winterize this house and give you a kind of peek behind the scenes as to what pro homeowners should be doing when it comes to winterizing their house. So let's get started. And the first thing we're gonna do is actually just right over here. We are going to winterize our outdoor spigots. So whenever it comes to winterizing our outdoor spigots, here is what we look at. Right, so we've got a spigot right here, and we've got a hose still connected to it. So when the cold weather comes to set in, here is what we need to make happen. We need to disconnect the hose from the spigot, because if there's any standing water in it, what's gonna happen is when it freezes, it's gonna burst. So we need to disconnect the hose, make sure there's no water dripping, running, anything like that. Once we ensure that the spigot is completely turned off, we need to get a hose bib cover. Bryce hit me with the hose bib cover. He's working on it fast. Hose bib cover. You can get these from any local hardware store. Pretty cheap, pretty effective, and what it does is it just cinches right onto that spigot and makes it to where we don't have to worry about our spigots freezing and bursting and causing more headache and more heartache than they're worth. So let's put this on. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing and making sure that you've done it all the way. So what we're gonna do to make sure we do it all the way is don't just do one. Don't just do one in a high traffic area. Make sure that you take care of all the spigots around your home. Snap this bad boy on there, there, and cinch this mug down. All right, now that we have got our spigots all insulated, making sure that they're not gonna freeze and burst, something that we're gonna do to avoid high utility bills is we're gonna come and check all of our exterior doors. And I know it's a little bit tall, I'm a tall guy, so if you're not able to just get eyes on it, you might need to get a step stool, something like that, maybe a chair. Proceed with your own caution. You know, just make sure you're being smart about it. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't see any daylight coming through around the seal of our door. We're also going to open it up and make sure that our weather stripping here, it doesn't have anything peeling from it, isn't just trying to pull apart, isn't doing anything out of the ordinary, because otherwise we're going to have cold air infiltrating the house at a rate that it shouldn't be. So we want to make sure that all of our doors are properly sealed. Also too, whenever you close it too, you want some of that pressure to push back on you, because that's how you know that the seal is actually allowing you to push against it and make sure that we create a firm connection around the entire door. Looks like this one, we're good to go. We don't see any daylight, and also the weather stripping looks like it's in great shape. So the next thing that we're gonna do, moving on from the door there, is we want to go to our windows. And I know that this can be a task just depending on how many windows you have in the home, but what we're gonna do is same deal. We're gonna make sure that all of our stripping around the top and on the bottom, make sure that we are nice and sealed, that you don't see any daylight. You could also do what they call the candle test, which is basically just like lighting a candle, holding it up across in front of those windows. You have to have a windy day. Oklahoma, we have no shortage of those windy days. If you see the candle flittering or fluttering a little bit, that's telling you we have some air infiltration and you might need to go to your local hardware store and get some weather stripping. But as you can see, you know, we got some little critters in here with us. We got a little dog and a little cat, and this brings us to our next thing. Our next thing is these guys, though lovely, though the perfect snuggle bugs, keeping you warm in the wintertime, are doing terrors on your allergies. So what we can do is we need to change our filters. If you haven't done it yet, do so, because guess what? You have the holidays coming up, you have family coming into town, and you want to make sure that everyone is able to breathe easy in your home. How we can do that is we can change our filters. All right, so here we are from our elevated position, about to change a filter, and here is something that we need to look for. Any hardware store that you go to, you are going to have a myriad of filter options available to you. What I would suggest is don't skimp out on your filters. You know, we've all seen the little fiberglass mesh filters that kind of, I think oftentimes are like green. They've kind of just got like a wire. You can really see through them. Like if I held it up to my face, you could see through it. I would recommend not getting those. Instead, get a 1-inch, if you have 1-inch filters. If you have 2-inch, great. But get a pleated filter, so it looks like this. So it's gonna look a lot like a washboard, and this is gonna do a whole lot better job of filtering your air, making sure those wonderful little critters that we keep in our house, that their pet dander gets caught in the filter as it should, and isn't gonna lead to, one, a more allergenic and sneezy you, but two, a dirty HVAC system. And so whenever we change our filters, I would recommend changing your filters. If you've got pets and kids in the house, at least once a month, once every other month. If you don't have pets or kids in the house, you could probably get away with once a quarter. But you need to be doing this multiple times a year to ensure that your HVAC system stays healthy and to make sure that you stay healthy. So let's change this filter. A little bit of a stretch. That's not too bad. That's not bad at all. So this is probably a 2-month-old filter. And as you can see, we've got some color variation. We've got a little bit darker gray from the dust and the debris that's being caught in this filter. But also, a little pro tip for you is don't just throw this. If you throw it, you're going to release a bunch of dust back into the air. So set it down gingerly. Pay attention to those and make sure that they are pointing up into the return and not down back into the room. So pay attention to that. Changing your filter is just step one of your pro homeowner guide to winterizing your home. Bonus points is you need to get a professional heater or furnace tune-up. So we're dealing with either a high combustion gas to heat your home or a high energy draw element to heat your home. And those require, just like your vehicle, require routine maintenance. So make sure that you get your furnace tuned up and get your furnace tune-up or your heater tune-up scheduled before family comes over, because guess what? When it's gonna fail, it's gonna be the day that you're hosting. Meemaw's coming to town, she's got the peanut butter pie in hand, and now we don't have a warm home, and nobody's happy. Meemaw can't eat peanut butter pie in a cold house. So make sure you get your furnace tuned up, and also on top of that is that little bugger right there, our smoke detector and CO detector. Let's go ahead, run a cycle on those, make sure that they are functioning properly. They have a test button on them, test them. Also, if they're battery powered, go ahead, change your batteries. If they are direct inlet, like if it's wired in like that one is, or if you have a plug-in on the, like a wall outlet down by your knees, make sure that they are capable of running, press that test, make sure that the CO detector is working, and make sure that that smoke detector is working, because guess what? We're doing a lot of hosting, a lot of cooking, and we're having to use our heater to heat our home. So we want to make sure that all of our safety systems are in working order prior to, one, turning them on, and two, having people over into our house. All right, and our last stop on our pro homeowner's guide to winterizing your home is your water heater closet. So wherever your water heater is at, one, make sure that you get the Christmas stuff out of the way, because otherwise you're not going to be able to check your water heater. So what we're going to do is, I know we're asking you to maybe take a look at some technical stuff that maybe you're not comfortable with. However, really what we want to look at is we want to look at this emergency right here, this emergency drain, and make sure that, one, that it is not pressurized, that we've kind of got some flop to it, make sure that we're good to go. Also make sure and look for some corrosion. So like here on this water heater, don't know if you can see it, we got a little bit of corrosion happening. And so that tells me that, one, we're either having highly sediment, a bunch of sediment in our water, or maybe our element's running a little hot. We've got some proof of water having come down this drain right here. So it's probably getting close to time to replace this water heater in general, but we want to make sure that we have eyes on our corrosion. If there's more or less than the last time you put eyes on it, the next place we want to look is down here in this drain pan. This drain pan, we want to see if there's rust. If there's rust in the drain pan, that means we've had water standing in the drain pan. And that means we have water coming from somewhere it shouldn't, because the only place that this bad boy should be sending water is to your sink and your showers, and to any place that you need hot water. If it's sending water out onto the floor or out into the drain pan, we have a problem, and we probably need to get a plumber involved. But we want to check for corrosion here and check for rust down there in the drain pan. And beyond that, guys, the bonus points of this is, once again, Meemaw's coming to town. She's got peanut butter pie. She's probably going to stay the night. Maybe stay her welcome a little too long beyond what you want. And she's going to take a shower. She needs a hot shower. And if your water heater fails, just like not having a hot house, not having a hot shower is probably worse. So get your water heater flushed before family comes in for the holidays to ensure that your water heater is in proper working condition before you have to have an awkward conversation with Meemaw as to why she can't take a hot shower tonight after Thanksgiving. But beyond that, guys, if you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, let us know if you want more content like this. Also, if you're curious about maybe, hey, it's time to replace my furnace and I've got family coming to town, I want to do that before, well, you can scan the QR code here or click the link down in the description and get a price in less than 3 or 4 minutes. The same goes for your water heater. If you're thinking, hey, I've got corrosion, I've got issues, I know that I have issues, you can get a price, QR code, link in the description, one of the two. You can get a price in less than 3 or 4 minutes and see what it would cost to replace your home's most vital and important appliances, your heater and your water heater. And as always, do something nice for somebody. You never know, it might change your life. Eyes up, feet moving. Here we go.